Hi children, welcome to A Slice of Science. In my previous video, I had held a mini test. So these are the answers for that mini test. Note down these answers and verify these answers with your answers. Hi children, our next activity is activity 6. For doing this activity, we need 2 beakers. Take 2 beakers of same volume and pour 250 grams of water in one beaker and 1 kg of water in another beaker and label them as A and B. Here, by looking these pictures, you will get one doubt. What it is? It is generally we measure water or liquids, any liquid, in milliliters or liters. But here we have taken grams and kgs. Why? Why? Because of here we are getting the relationship between mass and the heat. So that's why here I consider grams and kgs. Now heat both the beakers till water in the both the beakers attains 60 degrees Celsius. Children, can you guess which beaker attains 60 degrees Celsius first? Yes, beaker A. Why? Why? Because of it contains less mass. Means for rising its temperature, it needs a very less quantity of heat energy. But here the quantity is high. In beaker B, the water contains high quantity or more quantity. So that's why here it needs more heat energy to reach the 60 degrees Celsius, and it takes more time also to reach the 60 degrees Celsius than beaker A. Okay, so by this what we are understanding now? The substance which contains less mass, to reach one particular temperature, it needs a very less temperature. A substance which contains more mass, for reaching the same temperature, it needs more heat. So by this, what we understood? Q is directly proportional to M. Means here Q represents heat. M is for mass. Okay. So Q is directly proportional to M. Means if the mass is less, the required heat energy is also less. If mass is high, the required heat energy is also high. So that's why Q is directly proportional to M. Take this equation as 1. Next, consider the second case. In this case, I have taken a beaker and I filled this beaker with 1 liter of water and I am supplying heat energy continuously. Same heat energy through this activity I am supplying. And here I am not on the temperature. Take a thermometer and measure the initial temperature. Next, note on the temperature after 1 minute. So for example, if we get 38 degrees Celsius, you assume that it has 38 degrees Celsius. And next 1 minute means after 2 minutes, the value of the temperature either increases or decreases now. Yes, increases. Why? Because of here we are supplying the heat energy continuously. Means here we are supplying more and more heat energy to the water. So the temperature, when the heat energy increases, the temperature also increases. So 2 minutes approximately it reaches to 40 degrees Celsius. Like this, every minute the value of the temperature of the water increases gradually. So by this, what we are understanding now? Q is directly proportional to change in temperature. If we supply less heat, the change in temperature is also less. If we supply more heat, the change in temperature is also high. Consider this equation as 2. By these two equations, equation 1 and 2, Q is directly proportional to M into delta T. Okay children, Q is directly proportional to M into delta T. Here this symbol is called as proportional. This is the symbol for proportionality. Proportionality means, for example, if the mass increases, the required heat energy also increases, but the amount of heat and the value of the mass both are not equal here. But one substance increases, automatically the other substance also increases. It indicates the rising. But if you want exact equal value, then it is necessary to add any constant. Already you studied this information in your previous classes also. Q is equal to, I am considering that constant as, here I want to remove this proportionality, so I am adding a constant, that is S, M delta T. So Q is equal to M S delta T. Both are right only, similar. Here S is called as specific heat. Here S is called as specific heat. So from this, the value of specific heat S is equal to, these three are in multiplication. So take mass and temperature on other side of the is equal to, then they comes into division. Q by M delta T. S is equal to Q by M delta T. So this is the formula for specific heat. Children, what we did? Initially, from case 1, we understood Q is directly proportional to M. And by case 2, Q is directly proportional to temperature. So by these two, how we are writing, ma'am? Q is directly proportional to M into delta T. For removing this proportionality, here I consider a constant. It is called as S. So Q is equal to Ms delta T, where S is the specific heat. So S, formula for specific heat is equal to Q by, take this 2 into other side, Q by M delta T. So this is the formula for specific heat. And next, what is the formula for, already we discussed it, what is the formula for specific heat. Next, what is specific heat? Specific heat is the amount of heat energy required to raise unit mass of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. This is the definition of specific heat. The amount of heat energy required to raise the unit mass of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. So, next take the formula. S is equal to Q by M delta T. Now, what are the units of specific heat? How to find out the units? Look here. What are the units of Q? In CGS system, the units of energy is calorie, and in MKS system, the units are joules. In SI system, the units are joules. By what is the CGS units and MKS units of mass? CGS units are grams, and in SI system, kgs. What are the units of temperature in CGS and SI systems? In CGS system, degree Celsius, and in NKS system, Kelvin. These are the CGS units and SI units of the specific heat. Children, from activity 5, what we understood? We understood that the rate of rise in temperature depends on the nature of the substance. Here, the specific heat is also depends on the nature of the substance. If any substance specific heat is high, then the rate of rise in temperature is low. Similarly, if specific heat is low, the rate of rise in temperature is high. For example, yesterday what we did, ma? In fifth activity, we have taken 2 boiled test tubes and we filled one test tube with 50 grams of oil and another test tube with 50 grams of water, and we taken these two initially at room temperature and insert the thermometer in 2 test tubes, and next dip the 2 test tubes in a hot water beaker, which the temperature of this water is 80 degrees Celsius. Initially the temperature of oil and water is room temperature only. But after 2 or 3 minutes, what we observed, ma'am? The rate of rise in temperature in oil is high. Means the temperature rising fastly in oil than in water. Means the rate of rise in temperature is high in oil. The rate of rise in temperature is low in water. In both the cases, the temperature is rising, but the rate is varying. So here oil, the temperature increases fastly than water. For example, if you consider the specific heat of oil is 0.47 calorie per gram degree Celsius. Similarly, the specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is the reason for the variation in the rate of rise in temperature. The oil specific heat is 0.47 and the water specific heat is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. Means to rise the oil temperature 1 degree Celsius, oil needs only 0.47 calories of energy. If you supply 0.47 calories energy, then the oil temperature rises to 1 degree Celsius. But if you want to increase the water temperature 1 degree Celsius, you must supply 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. 1 calorie of energy. 1 calorie. Okay. So here what we are doing here? For rising temperature, oil takes a very less quantity of heat. So by giving a small quantity of heat, by using that the oil increasing its temperature. But water needs more energy to rise its temperature. So the rate of temperature of oil is very low. So the oil rising its temperature very slowly. Okay. So by this what we understood, ma? If specific heat is low, the rate of rise in temperature is high. Okay. Here the specific heat of oil is low. So the rate of rise in temperature is high here. So the specific heat of the water is high. Here the water contains specific heat is high. So the rate of rise in temperature of the water is low. So these two statements states that only if any substance the specific heat is high, then the rate of rise in temperature is low. Similarly, if specific heat is low, the rate of rise in temperature is high. Okay, children, I hope you understood this point. And next, this specific heat is differ but varies from substance to substance. Specific heat is varies from substance to substance. Why? Why? Because of the molecules of the system consists of different types of energies. For example, they are linear kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy, vibrational kinetic energy, and potential energy, etc. Like this, a system consists of different types of energies. The total energy of the system is called as internal energy. What is internal energy, Amma? Molecules of the system consists of different types of energies. For example, they are linear kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy, vibrational and potential energy, like this. So, the total energy of the system is called as linear kinetic energy. When we supply the heat energy to the system, the molecules share these energies in different forms. So, this sharing is varying from substance to substance. Here, this sharing of heat energy also varies with temperature. If we know the value of specific heat, then it is very easy to find out the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of the substance by using the formula S is equal to Q by M delta T, or Q is equal to M S delta T. Children, our next topic is applications of specific heat. Before explaining the applications, I'll remind the characteristics of high specific heat capacity materials and characteristics of low specific heat capacity materials. So first, take characteristics of high specific heat capacity materials. So high specific materials heats up and cools down at a slower rate. Means they take more time to heating up, and similarly they take more time to cooling down. Means slowly they heating up and slowly they are cooling down. And next, requires more heat to rise its temperature. The substance which contains more specific heat, they requires more heat energy to rise its temperature by a specific amount. Next, the substance which contains more specific heat can absorb a greater amount of heat energy. So that substance takes a greater amount of heat energy. For example, steam. Steam has a high specific heat. So steam is used to carry a lot of heat energy at high pressure to run rail engines or rotors in AC generators. Our next example is sun delivers a lot of heat energy to earth every day. In earth, the water sources, especially oceans, absorb a large amount of heat energy without appreciable rise in temperature. Means the oceans absorb a lot of heat energy even though the rate of rise in temperature is very less because of high specific heat of the water. So especially the vicinity of equator absorbs a large amount of heat energy, and oceans transport this heat energy far away from the equator to poles, means South Pole and North Pole. Because of this transfer of heat, the far away places from the equator get moderate climate. And next, one more example is, take a piece of watermelon and a piece of apple. Keep both in a fridge for 1 or 2 hours. Next, take them out and you will observe which one loses its coolness fastly. Yes, we will observe the piece of apple loses the coolness fastly than watermelon. Why? Because of watermelon contains 90% of water. So water has high specific heat. Already yesterday we discussed. So water contains high specific heat. So that's why water needs to rise its temperature more energy. So water takes more time to absorb the heat energy from the surroundings. So that's why watermelon maintains coolness longer time. Children, our next topic is characteristics of low specific heat capacity materials. The substances which contains low specific heat, they heats up and cools down at a faster rate. Means they gain heat energy fastly and they lose heat energy fastly, and required less heat energy to rise its temperature. To rise the temperature of low specific heats, they need only a less amount of heat energy. For examples, utensils used to make tea, coffee or cooking vegetables or rice, all are made up of a material which contains low specific heat. Why? Because of to get heated quicker. Okay. One more example is, in case of samosa, the samosa appears to be cool outside, but it is hot when we eat. Why? Why? Because of the outside layer of the samosa contains less specific heat, but the inside of the samosa, it contains curry. The curry contains high specific heat ingredients. So that's why the curry maintains heat long time. Okay, children, I hope you understood the concept of specific heat very clearly. In this video, what we discussed, what is the specific heat and what is formula for specific heat and what are the applications of specific heat. I hope children you understood this topic very well and practice it well. Thank you.